And good morning. That was something. It's literally dying here. It is currently 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time. And I'm going live. I was supposed to go live yesterday. Then I was supposed to go live the day before. And I just couldn't. We're preparing for Snowmageddon. It's Snowmageddon here in Missouri. Well, it hasn't really started yet, but it's going to be Snowmageddon this weekend, so I was preparing for the worst. Let me make sure I'm live real quick. Let me make sure the audio is working. Okay, yeah, it's all fine. We're all good. But I was going around doing some not community service. That makes it sound like I was in prison. No, I was volunteering at the local senior center, delivering meals to the homebound that we can't do this upcoming week if the weather's going to be that bad. So then I had to work last night. So I was unable to go live yesterday, and then the day before I worked that day, and then obviously I didn't really want to go live after I worked. So 2 days later, after the Oscar Noms were announced, I have a lot of time to think about the Oscar Noms. If you're new to streaming or looking to level up, check out StreamYard and get a $10 discount with that link right there, the referral link. If you are wanting to get into streaming, StreamYard, I know I haven't got rid of the watermark, but I mean, StreamYard is the best platform. Excuse me, I had a yawn. Yeah, it's the best platform to use for streaming. I got up literally 20 minutes ago. Got up, brushed my teeth, combed my hair, preparing for the live stream. All right. We're discussing the Oscar nominations today, in case you can't tell, because they got announced on Thursday morning. The Oscars this year, I do intend on going to the Oscar Marathon, the Best Picture Marathon. It's March 7th and March 14th. Me and my brother will be going, and there will be obviously the part 1 and part 2 vlog versions of it. And then obviously I'll be ranking the 10 Best Picture noms and everything. But today, we're just strictly discussing the nominations. Also, on my TikTok page, I also made a TikTok where I dived into the other nominations. So, had to yawn again. My apologies. So make sure to go check out my TikTok at ZachDFilms. Go check that out. We're really not growing on TikTok. I've been stuck with 50 followers for months and months and months. So go follow my TikTok page. I'm trying to get that to grow a little bit there. Also, trying to get my YouTube channel to grow. If you're here and you're not subscribed, it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe. We're trying to get to 200 by February. As I'm pulling that up. All right, first thing I do in my live streams, I just dive into what's been happening recently. Like I said, been preparing a lot for Snowmageddon. That's I don't know what's going on there. I just locked myself out of my computer on accident. But we're preparing ourselves for Snowmageddon. Excuse me. Plan on watching college basketball, NFL playoffs this weekend. Also, a few movies that I've got to watch, see what I'm in the mood for later today. But let's look at what I've been watching. How have you guys been? I'd love to know how you guys have been. I hate when I yawn, my eyes just all water up, and it's stupid. Here's what I've been watching recently. I don't even remember when my last live stream was. Oh, it was a couple weeks ago when I ranked the every movie. Excuse me again. All right. Last night I watched Iron Man 2. I know it says the 24th, which is today, but that's because I logged it just before going live. But I rewatched Iron Man 2, and I actually had a really good time with it. And I can't believe I had a really good time with it because I used to hate that movie. Even though you see Iron Man down here, I put out a review for that last night. Go check out my review for Iron Man. We're diving into the MCU Road to Doomsday. That's why I'm rewatching the MCU movies. But I saw 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, which I was disappointed by. I saw The Housemaid, which was okay. I think I would say I'm more surprised by The Housemaid just because I was not looking forward to it literally at all. But I also rewatched 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. That movie just disappointed me. I rewatched Sinners, which, why is that only 4 stars? I meant to put it 4.5. I don't know why it's only at 4 stars, but all right. It's 4.5, okay? I'm not crazy. But yeah, I'm going through the MCU. I decided I don't want to rewatch The Incredible Hulk because I did last year, and like I remember it, and I don't really feel the need to rewatch it. Plus, I'm not the biggest fan of that movie. That's a movie that I completely describe as a background movie. I'm rewatching the rest of the movies, but there will still be a review for The Incredible Hulk coming later this week, so stay tuned for that. And go check out my review for Iron Man as we dive into the road to the MCU. Excuse me. As you see, I watched 2 movies that we're going to talk about a lot today. Sinners and One Battle After Another, both this month. So that should be fun. All right. Before I dive in, if you're watching on the archived video, make sure to subscribe, like button, hit the bell, comment down below. What are your opinions on the 98th Academy Awards nominations? I want to know all that and more. If you're live, and it doesn't seem like we have any viewers right now, I will ask you guys what your opinions are on it. All right, so here's what we're going to do, right? I don't like this website. I don't like the Academy website because it's all like, it's in alphabetical order. I'd like to end with like the big stuff. Excuse me. But I think we'll go through the actors and actresses, the animated feature film, casting, cinematography, costume design, all the technical stuff. We'll skip directing until the very end, film editing, international feature film, makeup and hairstyling, music, best picture. We'll skip that. That's the very last thing we'll talk about. Production design, sound, visual effects, writing for original and adapted screenplay. All right. I'm going to eat a Hershey. Excuse me. I'm going to eat a Hershey Kiss real quick. I got a Hershey Kiss over here. So that's what I'm going to do before we dive into this. Happy weekend, everybody. Happy weekend. Gonna have a really good weekend. Gonna be snowed in. We got some good college basketball on. NFL championship weekend. It's gonna be fun, everybody. All right, sorry, I had to blow my nose, and I'm pretty sure you guys did not want to see that. So, all right, we're gonna dive in. We got a viewer. Just say what's up in the chat. Say hi. How you doing? I will also be answering questions, movie, TV show, sports related as well. If you have any questions, put them in the chat, and I'll be answering them. All right, actor in a leading role. This one has 3 front runners that are very obviously going to win, and 2 that I'm glad they're nominated, but they don't stand a chance to win against anybody else. Obviously, we got Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, and Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. That's like the 3 right there that everybody knew was going to get nominated. They're getting nominated at every single awards show. Ethan Hawke getting a nomination for Blue Moon. That's a little bit of a surprise. I have not seen Blue Moon. Neither have I seen The Secret Agent for Wagner Moura. That is, Secret Agent is a movie I will be watching for the Best Picture Marathon, obviously. But I have not seen it, so I can't really comment on Ethan Hawke or Wagner Moura. I'm not really familiar with Wagner Moura, but all I know is Ethan Hawke. I absolutely adore Ethan Hawke, so I'm glad that he got nominated. But Michael B. Jordan, Leo DiCaprio, Timothée Chalamet. That's like the three. I'm not surprised there at all. If I had to rank them on who I think would win or who I want to win, and here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to say if anybody got snubbed, if there is anybody that shouldn't be there, and who I think should win the award and who I think is going to win the award. Anybody getting snubbed? If you consider Miles Canton a leading role for Sinners, then I think Miles Canton got snubbed. Because he was great. And we'll talk about that in the supporting role here in a minute. I consider him more of a supporting role. I think B. Jordan is clearly the lead in that movie, but still, I think definitely Miles Canton got snubbed. If I had to rank the three on who I think is going to win, I think Michael B. Jordan has the least amount of not opportunity, but at least amount of shot to win that award because he's great in the movie. He is actually phenomenal in the movie. But Leo and Timothy are kind of on other levels. I think Timothée Chalamet is very clearly the front runner there. I think he's obviously going to, at least he'd be my pick to win the award. And I think he'd be a lot of other people's picks too. But he's also up against Leo DiCaprio. And DiCaprio loves getting those awards. So I can definitely see him coming from behind. I think the Academy is going to give it to Timothée Chalamet. And I would also go Timothée Chalamet. He's phenomenal in that movie. I love Timothée Chalamet, and it's his time to win an Oscar. So I go with Chalamet there. Another thing I want to talk about real quick. Sinners getting 16 nominations, breaking the record. Awesome. 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 Absolutely love that. I'm just going to say this right now, and I it's going to be a weird rant, but I was watching the news last night because it was on the television, and they were like, when we return, the Oscars suck again. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm about to go to bed, but I'm going to have to see this. So I watched it, and they're like, Sinners and One Battle After Another is overrated because One Battle After Another is just a bunch of woke propaganda for the liberals. And then, Sinners is just black people, and that's why it's got all this. No, that's not true. Watch the damn movie. All this discourse on Twitter and all of that, where people are just like, oh, it only gets nominated because they're black. Ooh, no, that's not what the point of the movie is. They're saying, oh, white people are evil. That's not true. Obviously, the KKK are. I think if you have half a brain, you'd agree that the KKK is pretty evil. But, yeah, people are loving to hate on Sinners. This is the worst time. Like, Twitter just takes the fun out of award season. And it's already trying to do that for Sinners, saying that it's overrated. It's just saying white people are bad, and that's why it gets nominations. No, it's a movie that is so good because it revitalized the vampire horror genre in a brand new light. And it's just awesome. And I think people hating on the movie haven't even seen the movie. So they're just stupid. All right, rant over. Actor in a supporting role. Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another. Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. Delroy Lindo, that's a big surprise for Sinners. Sean Penn for One Battle After Another. Stellan Skarsgård, Sentimental Value. I have not seen Sentimental Value. It's getting a lot of Oscar love, and I will be watching it in the Best Picture Marathon. I'm trying to avoid watching the movies that I haven't seen before the Best Picture Marathon because I kind of want to go in with movies I have seen and movies I haven't seen. So it's not like I'm just rewatching 5 movies back to back to back to back to back. So I can have some fresh in there as well as rewatching movies. But, all right. Let's start with Delroy Lindo. Again, I 110% think Miles Canton should have been nominated, and it's kind of a crime he was not. But I'm fine with it because Delroy Lindo, like nobody expected Delroy Lindo to be nominated, dude. And he was. And I absolutely love that he was because he is just one of the big hearts of this ensemble cast. He's funny. He has some really good character moments in the movie. I cannot believe he got nominated. It's still kind of crazy to me because nobody was talking about him getting nominated, and he just gets nominated for actor in a supporting role. So that just makes me so happy. Other thing I got to talk about, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. Horror is getting a lot of recognition this award season, and I cannot be happier. Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. As disappointed as I was in that movie, I was not disappointed in the performances, and Jacob Elordi is fantastic in that movie. The thing I was disappointed on in the movie is on a story standpoint. It just kind of felt empty. I had a lot more fun when I'm with Jacob Elordi and he's learning what life is, rather than him trying to go get Victor Frankenstein. I loved the movie when it was him at the one shed learning about life. That was awesome inside of the movie. And Jacob Elordi's performance is great. Benicio del Toro got nominated. That's kind of a surprise for me, but also like, duh, obviously he's going to get nominated. Sean Penn. I love that Sean Penn got nominated as the villain Lockjaw, I believe is his name, in One Battle After Another. He's great. He's a villain that you absolutely hate, and once he gets what's coming to him in the end of the movie, like, I literally am so happy. Is there any snubs? Obviously, Miles Canton. Who do I think is going to win, or who do I want to win? Honestly, out of this list, there's 3 that I would not be mad if they won. Obviously, I love Benicio del Toro, but I don't really want him to win because he's more of a side character in that movie, and I know it's in a supporting role, but he's like the definition of a side character where he's not super, he's only in the movie for the middle chunk of the movie, and then he kind of just disappears for a while there. I love him. Like, Benicio del Toro is one of my favorite actors, but I don't really necessarily feel he should win this award. I'd be fine if these 3 right here, Elordi, Lindo, or Sean Penn won. I would go Sean Penn. As much as I loved Elordi, as much as I love Lindo, Sean Penn is just the best villain of the year, and I love that he got nominated, and I want to see him win the award. Who do I think they're going to go with? I think they're either going to go with Sean Penn or Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein. I could also see Stellan Skarsgård kind of getting a win there, but I can't really discuss that until I see sentimental value. I think they're either going to go Sean Penn or Jacob Elordi to win. Actor in a supporting role. Actress in a leading role. This one's going to go real quick because I have not seen Hamnet, but Jessie Buckley got nominated for Hamnet. I have not seen If I Had Legs I'd Kick You. Rose Byrne got nominated. I have not seen Song Sung Blue, but that is a movie I really want to see. Kate Hudson got nominated for that. Renee Rains. I hope I'm saying that name right. If I'm not, I apologize. For Sentimental Value, obviously I haven't seen Sentimental Value. I plan on watching these 4 movies eventually. Like, If I Have Legs I'd Kick You and Song Sung Blue before the Best Picture Marathon. But the one I have seen, Emma Stone got nominated for Begonia, and I am very happy that Emma Stone got nominated for Begonia, because as much disappointed I was by that movie, it was a disappointment on a script and story level rather than the performance level, because her and Jesse Plemons are phenomenal in that movie. In fact, I wish Jesse Plemons got nominated for actor in a leading role, but I honestly can't see a spot for him to fit in there, but he's great. But Emma Stone is great, so obviously that'd be my pick. Who would I think this is going to win? Jessie Buckley's getting a lot of love for Hamnet. Again, I haven't seen Hamnet. Again, Hamnet is a movie I think I'm going to appreciate more than enjoy, but Jessie Buckley, I've heard her performance is great. Also, Kate Hudson, I've heard her performance is phenomenal as well, and that's really why I want to check out Song Sung Blue, is that I've heard some really good things about that movie. We'll talk longer. An actress in a supporting role. You got Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value, Inga for Sentimental Value. I'm not even going to attempt that rest of her name. No offense. And then you got Amy Madigan, Wunmi Mosaku, and Tiana Taylor. All right, a couple things here. Tiana Taylor should not be nominated. I said it. I'm going to get 1,000 people hate.
I didn't get that. Can you
it's
try
because I'm
again?
not talking to you. Excuse me. Siri just loves to interrupt. Isn't that right? Anyways. I don't think Tiana Taylor should be nominated. And the reason for that is, let's look this up, actually. How long is Tiana Taylor in one battle? I had a brain fart there. After another. Approximately 22 to 30 minutes. She's in the movie for 20 to 30 minutes of a 3-hour runtime. I don't think she should be nominated, especially when scratch out Tiana Taylor and put in Chase Infinity, who is not nominated anywhere. What are we doing? Now, no hate to Tiana Taylor. She's great when she's in the movie. I don't think someone who's in the movie for like 1/4 of the movie, or not even a quarter of the movie. God, that's not even a quarter of the movie. I don't think that she should be nominated, considering Chase Infinity's in for 2 hours and she doesn't have a nomination anywhere. Kind of frustrating. And I'm not even that big on One Battle After Another as a whole, but even like I like it, I really like it, but I'm not like crazy about it like others. But also like Chase Infinity's performance is not as great as a lot of people are saying. She's not bad in the slightest, but I don't necessarily think she's like so amazing like a lot of people are thinking. However, I just don't think Tiana Taylor should be nominated for being in 20 to 30 minutes of a 3-hour movie. Wunmi Mosaku, like I showed you guys, I recently rewatched Sinners, and I'm absolutely glad I did, because I've noticed a lot of these tiny little things about Wunmi Mosaku's performance. I'm going to clean my glasses while talking. Like, I was another guy who was like, but is she really that good? I don't think she's the best in the supporting cast. But knowing that she's going to get this nomination, I really paid attention on rewatch, and I absolutely loved what she did, so I'm happy she got nominated there. The obvious one here that I'm excited about is Amy Madigan for Weapons. She is phenomenal in that movie. As soon as she's on screen, I am terrified. She's an absolutely terrifying villain, and I hated her in the best ways possible. You can ask my brother and my best friend who I went to go see the movie with. I was freaking out. Like, I was so scared of her. She did such a good job. And the fact that she got nominated for a movie that's clearly not going for awards season. It's just kind of like a really good horror movie. And the fact that she got nominated at the Oscars, a movie that came out in August, a horror movie, got nominated at the Oscars. That's wonderful to me. And so obviously that's who I would pick to win. Who I think's going to win, I honestly think they're probably going to give it to Tiana Taylor. Again, I already said my point on why I don't think she should be here, but I think that's probably who they'll give it to. I could also see Wunmi Mosaku coming in. Again, I can't really comment on sentimental value because I have not seen the movie. So I hope Amy Madigan gets it. If Amy Madigan gets it, I will be live streaming through the Oscars. I will lose my crap. I will lose it, man. I will be so happy if she gets it, because like that is a big win for horror and horror fans like me. Animated feature film, getting away from the performances. Animated feature film. We got Arco, which I've never heard of until a couple days ago when I looked it up. Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. I have not seen Arco or Little Amelie because I've never heard of those movies before they got nominated. I think K-pop Demon Hunters obviously probably going to win this one. I mean, it's the movie of the summer. It took over everything. The song is crazy. It's a bad song because I don't like K-pop, but I know a lot of people absolutely love that song. But it's kind of just a movie that came out of nowhere. I remember, it's funny because I remember I was watching, or I was going on Netflix to watch something with my brother, and we saw K-pop Demon Hunters animated movie, and we're just thinking, oh, okay, this is the new Netflix animated movie about K-pop going to little kids. Nobody's gonna, yeah, whatever. It just looks stupid. And then all of a sudden it blew up, and like, that's all anyone's ever talking about. And I'm kind of like, that's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy. Because, like, it's a movie I haven't seen. If it wins this award, I will see it. But it's a movie I know I probably won't enjoy because I just don't like K-pop. Like, it's just not my thing. And I know that I'm a hater, and I probably won't really enjoy the movie, and I don't really want to give a bad review of the movie if I know that I'm probably not going to enjoy it. So I don't really want to watch it. I will only watch it if it wins this award. I might watch it if it doesn't. Maybe I'll be surprised. But you got Zootopia 2 getting nominated in there. I don't necessarily think Zootopia 2 is great. I think the back half of the movie is much better than the first half. I think it actually lets the stakes marinate, and that's what I think really works and has some good emotional moments. Elio is by far my favorite animated movie of the year. I thought that the story itself is not all that interesting, but the themes about being alone in the world and trying to find a purpose really resonated with me. And I thought it was really well done, had some really good emotions in there. Again, I don't really care about the story, but it's a movie that as soon as I left, I'm like, well, gosh, diddly darn. Pixar is the best studio out there for animated movies. And they proved it yet again with their latest film, Elio. And they rarely have a miss in my book. Even like Turning Red, I really liked. They rarely have a miss. And both of their movies are movies that are coming out this year that I'm pretty excited for. Hoppers and obviously Toy Story 5. But I would go Elio to win that award. I think K-Pop Demon Hunters has it in the bag, though. Casting. Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Secret Agent, and Sinners. This is kind of the award to be like, you got to think who didn't get nominated in the performance awards, who got snubbed. Oh, I forgot to talk about in the supporting actress award, Odessa Zion, I think 100% got snubbed for Marty Supreme. She is amazing in that movie. She is intense, kind of this character that's very hard to read. First movie I've ever seen her in. She absolutely killed it. But I think that Marty Supreme has a fantastic cast there. Obviously, you got Odessa Zion, Timothée Chalamet, but Gwyneth Paltrow giving one heck of a performance. There's another guy in there, too. I can't really remember his name at the moment. I think it's Kevin O'Leary. No, that's not who I'm thinking of. Who am I thinking of? Tyler, the Creator's in there. Kevin O'Leary's in there as well. He's pretty good. I'm thinking of Luke Manley. Luke Manley, the bigger fella in the movie. I thought he was really good, but it's just a cast that's really, really well done. Like that whole movie is just really well done. But I mean, that might have a fantastic cast. Again, you got One Battle After Another, Leo, Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, Chase Infinity, Teyana Taylor. Great cast for One Battle After Another. Sinners also is up there. I know there's some names that I might not remember, so I'm pulling up the cast so I don't look like an idiot. Obviously, you got Michael B. Jordan, Miles Canton, Wamni Mosaku, Haley Seinfeld, Lee Jun Lee as Grace is a character that I absolutely loved. That's who I was looking at. Like, she was amazing. Obviously, you got Delroy Lindo, Omar Benson Miller as Cornbread is awesome. Jamie Lawson as Pearline. And then you got to go down to Jack O'Connell. Jack O'Connell is awesome in the movie as well. And so just overall, that's a cast that's just absolutely freaking stacked throughout the entire movie too. So again, I think it's between those three. I can't really comment on Hamnet or The Secret Agent because I have not seen it. If I had to choose one, I'd go Marty Supreme just because like Timmy's the only one who got nominated, where I think like Odessa Zion, Gwyneth Paltrow, that's an overall well done cast. I think I would, like Sinners and One Battle. This one's very hard because I think all of these like are fantastic casts. The cast would, like, if it was anybody else, it wouldn't be great. But I would go Marty Supreme. But even after I say that, I'm rethinking it. Like, I want to go Sinners. One Battle After Another also has just a freaking awesome cast. It's hard. It's hard. I would still, I think I wouldn't go Marty Supreme, actually. I think they're going to give it to One Battle. I think One Battle's going to win. Who would I go for? I think I might just change it to Sinners. I think I'm going to change it to Sinners. I think Sinners is awesome. So, like, I got to go Sinners, but just Marty Supreme, One Battle, and Sinners, they fantastic cast, and they should be nominated. Cinematography. Real quick, let me remind you guys, if you go in the comment section, new to streaming or looking to level up, check out StreamYard and get a $10 discount. And give me some comments, questions, anything that I will be answering. Cinematography, Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle, Sinners, Train Dreams. Train Dreams, I think, is going to win this one. I have not seen Train Dreams. Yet again, it's another movie that I'll be checking out in the Best Picture Marathon. But I've heard that the shots in that movie are just like really what make the movie. Just these awesome shots after awesome shots. I haven't seen it, but that's really what I've heard from the general audience. So that's who I think is going to win it. Cinematography, again, Frankenstein has phenomenal cinematography. It's really good. That's not really who I would pick to win. Marty Supreme, great cinematography. One Battle has some really good shots in there, and Sinners obviously has some really good shots as well. I think I would go One Battle after another, maybe. Again, Marty Supreme has great shots, so does Sinners. One Battle after another, like the one shot of the Chase Infinity getting in the car and shutting the door and the camera going with it. Like, that's just a really good shot. Excellent cinematography. But also, Sinners has some phenomenal shots in there. The shot with Michael B. Jordan and Miles Canton watching the sunrise as the vampires go away. It's like, that's a phenomenal shot. So maybe I would go with Sinners. Any snubs in there? I don't really think so. Frankenstein, like I said, has great cinematography, but I think they're going to give it to Train Dreams there in that category. Costume design, and here's where I got to talk about For Wicked for Good getting 0 nominations. Suck it, Wicked fans. And I like Wicked. I would consider myself a Wicked fan. I like Wicked. The thing is, the Twitter Wicked fans get on my every single nerve. They're all like, oh my goodness, you didn't like Wicked for Good. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So you like Marty Supreme, but you don't like Wicked for Good? Oh my gosh. You can't even call yourself a film lover. Oh my gosh. Look at Ariana. Look at Cynthia. Oh my gosh. Wicked is awesome. Oh my gosh. And they're so annoying. It's not even about that. It's like they love to hate on other movies. They're like I saw something like an Avengers Endgame post, and everybody's like, and there's this one Wicked fan on there with Wicked for Good as a profile picture. It might even be a guy, I don't know. But they're like, how can people even get excited for Avengers Endgame? That movie's just for boys. Wicked for Good is for the men and the women. And oh my gosh, like it's too much, and it makes me happy. And they've kind of shut up since they got no nominations. I kind of I kind of am disappointed that they haven't said anything, because I kind of wanted to laugh in their faces. But I do think Wicked for Good should be nominated for stuff like costume design, makeup and hairstyling, obviously the music, original song and score, production design, visual effects, like all that stuff is still great, even though on a story level. And I think Wicked for Good, I'm going to throw this out there. Where were we at? We were at costume design. I think Wicked for Good is almost better than the original. I really enjoyed the movie until the end. And the end just kind of pissed me off because, like, if you watched Wizard of Oz, you know that's not how the story goes. That's not how it goes. All of a sudden, they're just like, oh, she's alive. She's alive because we got to have a happy ending. And it's like, that's not how the story goes. That's not how the Wizard of Oz goes. And so it just gets on my nerves. But I think it should be nominated for the technical stuff because it's still great. The real nominations, Avatar Fire and Ash for costume design. I guess you could, like, do you consider the blue skin like costume design? Because they don't really wear clothes. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, Sinners. Frankenstein, on a level like this, is the best movie of the year. Like, costume design, makeup, hairstyling. I think it's the best movie of the year for all of that. I got my little gerbil thing here. But, yeah, I think by far Frankenstein is going to win this award. I think it's got the best costume design out of them all, out of all the movies that nominated here. Again, I haven't seen Hamnet. Marty Supreme, Sinners, obviously they got good costumes. But when I think of Frankenstein, I think of the makeup, the hairstyling, cinematography, the costume design. I think of that aspect rather than the story level. Because like I said, on that aspect, it is the best it's been all year. Or, it's the best movie that came out all year. But again, on a story standpoint, I just not really the biggest fan of that. So Frankenstein would be my pick to win, and I think it's going to win costume design. We'll go back to directing. Skip over documentary feature and documentary short film, and we'll get to film editing. Again, film editing is kind of this weird award for me, where I look at film editing and I'm like, okay, I don't really think about the editing when I watch a movie. So it's kind of just like that weird award for me where I don't really know how to or who to go to. But F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, Sinners, Again, I'm not even going to comment who I think is going to win this one or who I want to win this one. I think probably F1 has this one because like it's the only one I could really think of editing. But it, like again, it's one of those awards that I'm like, I don't really understand. Like it's hard when I'm watching a movie. I don't think, oh, this movie's edited together really well. No, I'm thinking, oh, the story or the costumes or all that. I don't really think the editing, so I'm not really gonna comment on that one. It's always just something weird for me to discuss is the editing. International feature film. Brazil has a secret agent. France, it was just an accident. Norway, sentimental value. Spain, Surat, and Tunisia, the voice of the Hind Rajab. The secret agent, and it was just an accident, and sentimental value. I think secret agent and sentimental value have the best chance of winning this award. All I can say is, oh hell, the witch is dead. Speaking of Amelia Perez, obviously, what else would I be talking about? I remember last year. This year's Oscars are so much better than last year's Oscars. Let me just say that because we don't have excuse me. Because we don't have Amelia Perez getting 110 different awards. So, like, it was such a surprise when I'm Still Here won this award last year, and I was super excited. I don't think international feature film is going to be as exciting as that this year, because I think pretty easily, like, I haven't seen these films, but just, like, going off the stats, I think Secret Agent and Sentimental Value by far have the best opportunities to win international feature film. I could see it was just an accident kind of pulling up, but I think Secret Agent Sentimental Value. Again, I can't really talk about it because I have not seen either of the films, but I will be watching Secret Agent and Sentimental Value in the Best Picture Marathon, so you'll get my thoughts on that coming soon. We got 3 viewers. Make sure to go in the comment section or the live chat and give me any questions, comments, anything. I will be answering any questions, movie, TV show, sports related. Makeup and hairstyling. Wow, the voice just cracked there. Makeup and hairstyling. Obviously, again, kind of crazy. Wicked for Good's not in there. I love that Frankenstein's in there. There's Frankenstein Coco. Never heard of that movie in my life before. Sinners, The Smashing Machine, The Ugly Stepsister. I love that Frankenstein's there. I think that, like, the one thing that sticks in my head about that movie is Mia Goth's hair, which is crazy, but, like, as soon as it came on screen, I'm like, what the hell? That's, like, the craziest hair I've ever seen in my life. So, like, that's, like, it has to get the award. And then, obviously, the makeup on Jacob Elordi's Frankenstein is great. I think that's kind of the front runner for this award here. The hair in Sinners and makeup is great in that movie as well. Makeup, obviously, on the vampires, especially Remick when he goes all beast mode in the end of the movie. The Smashing Machine, glad it got nominated here. It obviously should. Every time I went to the theater with my dad, and I'm just going to say this, every time I went to the movies and the Smashing Machine trailer came, and this happened like 4 or 5 times, he would lean over to me after the trailer and be like, was that Dwayne The Rock Johnson? I'm like, yeah, it was. Every single time, he would be baffled that was Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So excellent job on, and like he doesn't look like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So excellent job by that. The Smashing Machine's a movie that just recently got added to HBO Max that I intend on checking out very soon. Again, horror getting a little bit of love there with The Ugly Stepsister. I've not seen it, but I've heard it's gnarly, and I love that it got nominated there. I think it would be between, for me, The Smashing Machine, Sinners, and Frankenstein. I think Frankenstein's got this award in the bag again for like the 100th time. Frankenstein's the best movie of the year when it comes to stuff like that, so I would also think I'd go Frankenstein. But The Smashing Machine, glad it got nominated. Sinners, glad it got nominated. Did I pick Sinners to win a single award so far? I think I've at least picked a couple. Which is weird because like I'm going for everything else other than Sinners, even though Sinners is an amazing movie. Music original score. Okay, yeah, here's where we're going to go to Sinners. Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle, and Sinners. Begonia has a score that's one of the best parts of the movie. Frankenstein, I don't remember anything from the score. I haven't seen Hamnet. One Battle has a great score, but Sinners, scored by Ludwig Göransson, is just on another freaking level, dude. Like, there's never a movie. I love music. I love punk rock. I love metal music. But Sinners is the only movie in my entire life that I will flat out listen to the original songs and the score. I will turn on the score in the background. I will listen to the score of Sinners for fun. That's something I never do because it's just that good. I mean, just the ending scene where he's about to shoot the KKK members, like what Ludwig Göransson does there. It's great. It has this airy score when you want to feel the characters being free. It has a score that makes them feel free. It's an amazing score. And again, that movie is very much about music, and so it's very fitting that the score in that movie is just wonderful. It's by far the winner here. I think it's obviously going to win. Ludwig Göransson, he won the score for Oppenheimer, right? I know he won Ludwig Göransson, and he won the Oscar. So he's coming back, baby. He's coming back. I'm a little surprised that F1's not in there, considering some of the buzz it's getting at the Oscars. Little bit surprised about that one. Not gonna lie. Was that Hans Zimmer? I think so. Who scored F1 the movie? Yeah, it's Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer scored F1. All right, so Sinner's going to win that one. Music original song, I think it's pretty obvious who's going to win, unfortunately, and it's going to be Golden because everyone and their mom listens to Golden except me and my mom because I don't listen to that because I think the song sucks because I'm not a K-pop fan. Again, I'm just hating. I'm glad that it's getting a lot of love like I am. It might even be a really good movie, but it's just not really my thing. But, like, everyone plays the song everywhere, and it's the new Let It Go. We're going up, 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 going over, whatever. Like, dude, I haven't seen the movie. Excuse me. I haven't seen the movie yet. I've heard Golden about 12 billion hundred times. That's wonderful. Dude, I absolutely love when I haven't seen a movie and I already don't have any interest in watching the movie because I already know every song because nobody will stop playing it. But I think it's gonna win. I think pretty obviously the movie that the song that should win is "I Lied to You." Like it's really not even close. "I Lied to You" is absolutely amazing. That whole sequence is phenomenal. As soon as the aspect ratio just changes and we're getting all the dances and the fire, and then you see the vampires, and that's like the best sequence of the year. Like someone posted on Twitter that sequence, and even though I just watched the movie just a week ago, I want to watch this movie again. I want to watch this movie again. Sinners is awesome, man. I want to watch this movie again. And the "I Lied to You" sequence is the standout sequence in that movie. So I think by far it should win. Other nominations: Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verdi. I've never even heard of that movie. Train Dreams from Train Dreams, and Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless. Okay. I feel like very clearly it's between Golden and "I Lied to You, but I would obviously go with "I Lied to You" from Sinners, even though I think Golden's going to win because why wouldn't Golden win Best Original Song? Sorry, I just got a notification on my phone. All right, production design. I just got this. Did YouTube just send me a notification? Oh, just let me know I'm live. All right. Production design. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, one bad after another. Sinners yet again. I think obviously Wicked for Good got a little bit snubbed there. Frankenstein, the best movie of the year when it comes to things like that. The sets and production on that movie was great. I haven't seen Hamnet. Marty Supreme, good production design. It doesn't really have any like big sets or big locations in that movie, besides obviously the ping pong elements in the movie that were great. But One Battle After Another, more excellent production design, and so is Sinners. Again, I think Frankenstein should win it, and I think Frankenstein will win it. I can see One Battle or Sinners coming out to win that one, but again, production design, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. But I think Frankenstein is the best movie of the year when it comes to stuff like that. Sound. F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Surratt. I think pretty obviously F1 has the best sound of the year, where like you're watching that movie and you're just blown away by the way the cars sound. The sequence where he's finally flying is just a great sequence because of the sound in that sequence. So I think like that's pretty obviously the lead one here. Frankenstein, I'm thinking like I don't remember any like awesome sound from that movie. It's also probably because I saw it in my living room instead of the movie theater. One Battle, Sinners, great sound as well. Sinners, I think, is also a big front runner for sound, and I wouldn't be surprised if it won. And Surratt. Big snub here. Did the Academy forget about Warfare? Because that movie, watching that in a big theater was awesome. The movie was just a brutal film, but the best thing about that movie was the sound. Every gunshot, every movement of a character was terrifying. And you're scared because the sound made you feel like you're actually there inside of this battle. It's like, it's awesome sound, and I cannot believe it didn't get nominated. I cannot believe it didn't get nominated. In fact, I'm actually kind of pissed off it didn't get nominated, because far and away, there's no chance in hell that any one of these are better than Warfare. Because like that's a movie that the sound puts you inside of that movie. I can't believe it didn't get nominated. But I think F1 is the winner here. Sinners also, I think, has a big chance to come from behind. All right. Visual effects. You got Avatar, Fire and Ash, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, Lost Bus, and Sinners. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Why is Jurassic World Rebirth? So now they're going to say Oscar-nominated film Jurassic World Rebirth. The worst Jurassic World movie in that entire franchise is now Oscar-nominated. Isn't that freaking wonderful? Lost Bus, that was the movie... Who's in that? Shoot, who is in that movie? We're going up. See, I even got the freaking song in my head. It's Matthew McConaughey and America Ferrera, the movie about trying to get those kids away from like the forest fire or whatever. I want to watch that movie. I haven't got a chance to check it out yet. F1. I think this one's like very obvious where we're going here. Avatar, Fire and Ash, by far the best visual effects, and it's particularly not even close. I don't even have to explain myself. The visual effects of those movies are like the best thing about those movies. It's really not even going to be close in this competition. I swear to you, if Jurassic World Rebirth wins, I'm going to throw something. I'm going to break something. But Avatar, Fire and Ash, the obvious winner here. I honestly would love to see Sinners get the win here too. But Avatar, Fire and Ash obviously is going to get the win. Adapted screenplay. You got Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle, and Train Dreams. I'm getting a cramp in my knee. Let me tilt this camera back. I'm going to stand up for just a moment. Just so I can kind of stretch my leg. So yesterday while I was delivering meals, I slipped on ice or rocks or something. I don't really know what I slipped on. And now my right knee is all swollen up. So that's wonderful. Writing, adapted screenplay, Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle, and... I thought I just heard a weird noise. Begonia, I don't think should be nominated whatsoever, because I think the script is a big problem. It doesn't leave any room for interpretation or thoughts. It's just like, okay, here's what happens, and then it kind of just keeps going on and on and on, and gets to a point to where the script and story honestly just kind of tick me off. Frankenstein, again here, like, it has a really good script at times, but at other times it just doesn't feel impactful for me. Haven't seen Hamnet. One Battle After Another, I think, is the winner here. I think One Battle After Another has a fantastic script that's able to have some balls. It doesn't pull any punches. So I think that's the winner here. I can't also comment on Train Dreams because I have not seen Train Dreams yet. But I think One Battle After Another is my winner here, and I think it's going to win. It already won that award at Critics' Choice Award as well. All right, I'm going to sit back down now. Writing original screenplay. Make sure my camera still looks fine. Yeah, it looks fine. All right. Original screenplay. Blue Moon gets nominated. What is Blue Moon? See, I've only heard about that movie for Ethan Hawke's performance in it. It is a musical drama. Margaret Qualley's in that movie too. I really want to check this one out now. Is it on Netflix? No. Why won't... Oh, there we go. In 1943, lyricist Lawrence Hart confronts a shattered self-confidence at the bar as a former collaborator. Richard Rodgers celebrates the opening night of his groundbreaking hit musical. Okay, so it's kind of a musical or a musical biopic. Okay, I got to check it out. My brother, he's here. What's up, brother? Finally, we're about done discussing the nominations and you just joined? Wow, he never heard of Blue Moon. But it like, apparently the writing's good enough to get an original screenplay nom. It was just an accident. I haven't seen either of these movies. Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, Sinners. So obviously it's going to be between Marty Supreme and Sinners, I think. Even without Sentimental Value, Blue Moon, it was just an accident. Even though I haven't even seen those movies, I think it's still going to be between Marty Supreme and Sinners. Both have phenomenal scripts, dude. Again, it's hard for me to do this because, like, I haven't picked Sinners to win a lot this live stream, but my pick would be Marty Supreme, if I'm being completely honest, as of right now, because, like, the movie just has such a good script that you don't need a big grand bang. You think that the big finale of this movie is going to be at the tournament, but no, it's just him on kind of this neutral ground playing his rival, winning a ping pong game against his rival, and you can very clearly tell the rival doesn't care. And you might look at that and think, oh, that's kind of anticlimactic. But when you watch the movie and realize what kind of a character Marty is, you just realize that script is genius, man. And it's intense. The whole movie is just trying him to try over and over again to try to get to this one place. It's a phenomenal script, and I can't pass up saying it's going to win original screenplay. Obviously, I do think Sinners has a big chance. Sinners also a phenomenal script. A vampire movie is so much more than just a vampire movie. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When I saw all the buzz around Sinners, as soon as I watched, or as soon as I was heading to the theater to watch it for the first time, I was thinking, yeah, it's just gonna be a really fun vampire movie. But it's so much more than that. Sinners is a phenomenal movie. 2 more categories. Send in your questions or anything to answer at the end of this live stream or the end of discussions. Directing: Hamnet, or Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie, Marty Supreme, PTA for One Battle, Sentimental Value for Joachim Trier, and Sinners, or Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Haven't seen Hamnet, haven't seen Sentimental Value. So again, just like so many times this live stream, it's between One Battle, Marty Supreme, or Sinners. Josh Safdie, excellent direction on that movie. Everything comes together so perfectly. It's just a movie that as soon as I left the theater, I was like, that's a really well done movie. One Battle, I think PTA is going to win the award just because it's a movie that doesn't pull any punches. It has balls. It does what a lot of movies nowadays don't do. And I didn't get that impression out of the theater, but after I rewatched, I was like, oh, okay, they might have been right about that. But I would go Sinners. Again, a movie that is about vampires and all that, but it's a movie so much more than vampires or surviving the night. It's a movie about music, about how the devil can creep in through music. It has all these fantastic sequences. The aspect ratio changes are the best aspect ratio changes I've ever seen in my life. So I would go with Sinners, Ryan Coogler for directing. Even though I think PTA is going to win it, I just think the Academy is going to lean more towards PTA. Josh Safdie pulling off, I think, would be a little bit of a surprise, though. I can also kind of maybe see Chloe Zhao. I mean, Chloe Zhao, she did No Man Land, and that won Best Picture, didn't it? Chloe Zhao. Yeah, she did No Man Land, and then she did The Eternals, which is a good movie, and you can never change my mind. The Eternals is a good movie, okay? And then No Man Land for 2020. Yeah, it won Best Picture. Anyways, I could see her winning that, but I think it's really between those three. And a final category of the stream and of the Oscar nominations is Best Picture. Best Picture. Begonia. I don't think it deserves. I'm just going to go one by one. Begonia. I don't think it deserves Best Picture. Again, I think the script is pretty bad in that movie. As the longer the movie goes on, the worse the script gets. I think it's good for a big chunk of the movie, but it gets bad real quick. It comes a point. F1. No. Why is a movie about F1 Formula One racing going to be in Best Picture over like different movies that could be in there? I can't really think of a movie that should be in there over it right now, but F1 like is kind of just an oddball in there for Best Picture. Frankenstein, I figured would be in there. Hamnet figured would be in there. Marty Supreme obviously has a huge chance at winning Best Picture. One by after another, I think is probably the front runner to win Best Picture. The Secret Agent I haven't seen, but that's the there's two foreign films in here. Secret Agent and Sentimental Value, both of those foreign films that I think have decent amount of shots to win the Foreign Film Award, but I don't really think they either have shots here. Sinners and Train Dreams. All right, so I have a ranking of the ones I've seen. Again, I will be rewatching all of them. Some of them I hope that I'm going to like a little bit more, but here's my ranking of the noms so far. Begonia is my least favorite, then Frankenstein, then F1, and then One Battle After Another, Sinners, and I put Marty Supreme number one after rewatching Sinners. I got to rewatch Marty Supreme, of course, but I think Marty Supreme is probably my favorite one out of them all. So you might think I would say go to Marty Supreme to win Best Picture. I think I would go Sinners. Like, obviously, Sinners, again, I don't need to keep saying it over and over again. It's a movie that revitalized the horror genre. It revitalized everything about the vampire genre, and it kind of just changed the genre. And that's something we don't see out of movies that often anymore. And so I think Sinners pretty obviously is going to or should get Best Picture. I think they're going to go for One Battle After Another, though. I mean, that's that kind of movie. Like, as much as I hate this term, it is definitely a woke movie. So I think, like, they're going to give that Best Picture. I also think Marty Supreme should deserve it over One Battle After Another. A wild card winning it, F1 has no shot. Like, my brother says F1 is the best. It's got no shot of winning Best Picture. Begonia, I wish it wasn't even in here. Like, that movie just frustrates me. But it's in here. I don't think it has a chance of winning. I could maybe see Frankenstein pulling it up from behind, maybe. I could definitely see Hamnet pulling it behind. I don't really see the two foreign films or Train Dreams winning it either. But I think, obviously, for me, I'd have to go Sinners. And the Marty Supreme would be my runner-up for who I think should win Best Picture. All righty, dippity-doo. That's the Oscar noms. We'll stay live here for a few more moments, and then we shall call it a day. Any questions, comments, concerns for moi, yours truly? Just keep it here just for a brief moment. Well, I think I'm just going to call it a day. We hit the 1 hour mark, talked an hour about the Oscar best noms. Stay tuned later this week. The Incredible Hulk review. I plan on seeing Mercy review, Send Help review, obviously. And please go follow my TikTok page at Zach D Films. That would mean also, whoops. Didn't mean to hit that. That would also mean quite a bit to me. But thank you to everyone who's watching on the archive. Thank you to all my viewers who joined in on the live. F1 should win. I highly disagree, Jake Dollar, my brother. But thank you to everyone. If you are in the Midwest or somewhere around there, enjoy Snowmageddon. It's going to be a lot of fun. And with that said, subscribe. I'm going to go home, or I'm already home, but I'm going to go watch some college basketball and some movies today. So y'all have a good one. Have a good weekend, everybody.